How's it going, guys? Fyxe here, and welcome to another edition of Turbo, this week featuring CastleStory, an early access indie game developed by Sarpod Studios. Before we begin, CastleStory is an early access game, which means anything you see in this video is subject to change, including, but not limited to, gameplay, graphics, and more. Enough with that though, let's go Turbo. CastleStory is a sandbox strategy survival voxel-based game that centers around the creation and production of your people known as Bricktrons. There are three types of Bricktrons currently in the game: archers, warriors, and workers, each with their own special functions that we will cover later in the video. There are also four types of resources in the game: wood, yellow gems, crystals, and stone. There are also two game modes currently available for you to playtest, survival and sandbox, but for the purpose of time, I'm only going to cover survival mode. When you begin the game, you will start off with 4 workers and, depending on your level of difficulty, 1 warrior. What you will want to do first is harvest a bit of wood and create storage platforms that you can begin to place materials on. Do this by hovering the mouse in the bottom right corner, over which I call the workstation, and clicking the axe icon. Left click and place the icon near some trees. Now select 3 workers and right click the newly created axe icon. They will begin to harvest wood and take it to a storage deposit. Now go back to the workstation and select the button that looks like a saw. Hold right mouse button anywhere on the ground and you will see an options wheel pop up. Select the storage option and place a few near each other. Keep in mind that Bricktrons cannot walk over these, so do not place them too deep. Then do just as you did before and assign a worker to build the platforms. Once you have done that, send most of your workers into the mine shaft. They will begin to mine stone that you can use to build your castle, 1 brick at a time. CastleStory is distinct in that you do not build your castle, but rather blueprints for it. The Bricktrons will slowly take the resources you have gathered and build your creation for you, if you assign them to. If you look next to the floating icons, you'll see a number that tells you how many workers are assigned to that task. Try to even your workers between building and gathering so that none are just sitting around idly. That's the basics, so here are a few key things that'll help you later on. When the clock at the top left reaches 0, you'll be invaded by rock golems. Kill them with your warriors and archers as fast as possible, as they will try to kill you and your creations. The upwards arrow near the text that reads enemy is a total count of how many golems are left on that wave. Each wave gets stronger and stronger, so be sure to build lots of fighting Bricktrons. How do you do that, you might ask? Right-click on the gigantic crystal in the middle of your spawn and you will see 4 options. Build a warrior, build an archer, build a worker, and a 4th option that will tell you how close you are to being able to build one of those. The percentage will increase over time, but you can speed it up by mining crystals around the map or by randomly finding crystals in the mines. The crystal will glow when it is ready to build a Brickttron, but be careful, you can only build one, so choose whether you need a fighter or a builder carefully. AI is extremely buggy, so make sure you're keeping an eye on all your Bricktrons, as they tend to act a bit drunk sometimes. When the wave timer reaches 30 seconds, it's a good idea to make sure all your Bricktrons are in a safe place. I suggest you do this by activating the final option on the crystal, which makes all the Bricktrons stop and run towards it. Be warned, as the Bricktrons will take about 40 seconds to reach the crystal, mostly because of buggy AI. Final tips. Shift-click to remove a blueprint that you've accidentally placed, but make sure you have the same block selected. You can select a Bricktron and pick the option to mine a voxel, which will destroy any placed blocks. Bricktrons cannot move resources up blocks. Keep that in mind as you plan for them to build your creations. They will build a wall only to find out that they cannot build on top of it as they've made it too high. They also trap themselves in the same manner. Build stairs to easily counter their stupidity. Archers are sadistic team killers. Keep them away from all other Bricktrons or suffer their wrath. Your choice. That about does it for this week's edition of Turbo. If there's anything I didn't cover enough, or if you simply have questions, feel free to comment below. And if you liked the video, please don't hesitate to click that thumbs up. Alright, enough watching videos, get in the game and have some fun.